I have a brief reading today. I have on my nightstand by my bed a copy of the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. It has been there for 25 years. From time to time, I will open it and read a bit as a helpful reminder. I should note that I am not a drinker, and until a recent trip to Germany, I've never had so much as a glass of beer. So why the book? During seminary in a pastoral care class, I was assigned the task of attending an open AA meeting and writing a paper on my experience there. It turned out to be a most valuable experience. The AA model for spirituality has become one of the foundational pillars of how I think about the human condition. It is an important window through which I see my life and approach the work of ministry. The core ideas in the AA program and all 12-step programs are that through reliance on a higher power, earnest spiritual practice, and faithful participation in a safe, accepting community, one can reclaim one's life from addiction. Let me explain a bit. As far as we know, humans are unique in that we are the only creatures with two selves. The self that has been programmed into us by society, the social self, and the true self, our soul self, which is our true identity, that which we truly are. The social self is the image we show to the world and ourselves. It is a complex of constructs conditioned into us by others and arranged by us to present a pleasing picture to ourselves and the world. The other self is the true self. The true self, also called the soul, and some people call it God, has, in my opinion, been knit together by the creative forces and is our connection to the whole of creation. When the social self is estranged from and cannot be informed by the true self, we suffer from inauthenticity and are generally anxious and unhappy. Further, we are much more prone to medicating against this pain of estrangement by using substances are involving ourselves in processes that can become addictive and further exacerbate the estrangement between the social self and the true self. By now, some of you may be saying something to yourself like, hang on there, Jim, I do not believe in this whole higher power thing. I can get down with being part of a safe congregation like Buff, but the higher power thing leaves me a little cold. My response is, it really doesn't make much difference what your metaphysical preferences are. This is primarily a humanist congregation. We have several flavors of humanists here. We have Buddhist flavored humanists, Christian flavored humanists, pagan flavored humanists, and atheist flavored humanists. Here, we have quite a few who don't fit nicely into any category. You all know who you are. The point is, whatever flavor you happen to be, you still have a true self. The point is, whatever flavor you happen to be, you still have your true self, worth repeating. That which you must be in communion with if you are to truly be alive. It is my particular opinion that separation or estrangement from the true self, also called soul or God, is a universal problem that presents us with two choices. Either we can medicate the pain or we can treat the wound. When we medicate the pain, we latch onto some substance or process to temporarily obliterate our feelings. The substance can be, for example, beer, mashed potatoes, or Oxycontin. The process can be shopping, cheating on your spouse, gossip, cutting, anorexia, extreme religion, and politics, our work, are a multitude of other activities. When we medicate our pain, we have to keep upping the dose and may go into a death spiral where we eventually die and leave our friends and families in an emotional wasteland. The other way of dealing with the pain of estrangement from true self is to treat the wound itself. We treat the wound of estrangement through spiritual practice. These practices include admitting that you have a problem, being part of a safe, accepting, and loving community, prayer, meditation, contemplation, study, writing poetry, dancing a holy dance, loving what you love, or practicing loving kindness. The list goes on. When we treat our wounds with spiritual practice, we may actually transcend ourselves and set ourselves free. Oh, and by the way, being part of this fellowship means working really hard to keep Buff a safe place for everyone. That is the end of my reading.